Good Tuesday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather on behalf of Weigels, fuel and food that's fast, fresh, and friendly. Here's a quick weather and Weigels update. Let's start with Weigels because you know they've got something extra special. It's the Winter Wonderland milk. Oh yes, it's a frosty vanilla milk with a 100% chance of being delicious. If you've tried it already, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The Winter Wonderland milk from Weigels is available and it's delightfully delicious, but it's only around for a limited time. I know it doesn't stick around forever because they have to make room on the shelf for other products, but the mint, the frosty vanilla mint, is fantastic by itself. You might want to put a little dab of it in your Weigels coffee. Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh yeah, definitely think about that. That's a great idea as well. But the Winter Wonderland milk, it's just better when it's fresh. Farm to store in 24. It's just better when it's with Tennessee cows. Very thankful for Weigels. And again, make sure you pick up the bottle of the Winter Wonderland. As you'll notice, but get it before it's gone. I mean, Weigels is kind of telegraphing they probably have something down the road that might be coming out, but before it goes, if you like it, make sure you pick up a bottle today. Got to talk about some visibility, kind of weird. I'm looking at Athens here. I don't see a lot of gray. Typically, my visibility map will show some gray areas where fog might be present. If it's present at all, it would be patchy. But it's down to 0 in Athens, so I'm kind of curious if you're in McMinn County, let me know if you have a fog issue in some areas around Athens, because that's what's detected here anyway. But temperatures are all over the map. It's 10 degrees colder in Athens as compared to Knoxville. Knoxville's 31. Athens is 21. It's 31 Oak Ridge, and it's 30 in Maryville, and 32 in Morristown. So if you're on the call, I would love to say hello to you. Good morning to you. I know 31 feels like 24 last I checked. Last I checked, 31 feels like 24 because we have a 7-mile-an-hour wind. I got a good morning from Steve Stone. He's got a new picture of his Jeep. I love it, I love it, I love it. Good morning to Steve. He's got sunshine and a happy face. Glad to see him here, as I have Hallie Gibson, my snow commissioner. She says, good morning. I'm hoping for a February snow. Yeah, February, it's going to be here before you know it. In fact, Groundhog Day is Sunday. What on earth is that little Puxatawny Phil going to see or say? Because if he sees his shadow, that could mean 6 more weeks of winter. We know we put a lot of stock in the little rodent known as the groundhog, at least some of us do. Fred says good morning. He's got a sunshiny face, frosty too. He's got 29 in Maryville. He's encouraging everybody to grab Weigels coffee. I love it. They're my great sponsor on a Tuesday morning. Happy to have Fred here. And want to say good morning to Karen Robbins. She's got 27 up on the plateau. I just picked up some Winter Wonderland milk yesterday. Woohoo! All right, delicious coffee. It is, and we're enjoying the warmish weather. Thank you, Karen. I may have to pick up another bottle. We go through it quickly in the Aldridge household. It's really tasty if you haven't tried the Winter Wonderland milk. And after all, when it's 100% chance of being delicious, you might as well try it. It's really, really good. Anyway, let's talk about the weather some more. 31 is our current temperature, 30 degrees, Sevierville, Pigeon Forge. But when you factor in that 7, is that all? It's all it is. 7 miles an hour suddenly makes 31 degrees magically go down to 24. So if you have to fill up your tank at Weigels today and you go in and buy some Winter Wonderland milk, you'll say, yeah, it's cold out there. Feels like 24. That's the perception number. Feels like 22 in Crossville, Fairfield, Glade. Feels like 23 in Jamestown and Tellico Plains. Not everybody has a wind chill. One of the prerequisites, probably the only prerequisite, is you got to have a wind. So if you don't have a wind, that's why there's no number perhaps next to your town in places like Middlesboro or Morristown at the moment. Now, if we surmise that it's probably gustier in the Smokies, that's probably true. These are estimated over 20, 30 miles an hour in some cases in the Smokies. We could call today breezy, but it will be sunny. So think of this as sunny and pleasant. The breeze that I have existing today will be southwest 5 to 15, gusting around 25. It's not terribly bad. It's not a calm wind, but if you're trying to eat lunch outside with your jacket on and you feel like the wrappers are blowing away, or if you're brown bagging it, whatever you're doing, maybe you're grabbing some items from Weigels, make sure that you know that there will be a bit of a wind out of the southwest, 5 to 15, gusting to around 25 today. Here's my expectations: 48 for a high in Morristown. I expect 49 for Crossville. And if you're in the Oak Ridge, Knoxville, Farragut, Hardin Valley, if you're in Carnes, 51 seems reasonable to me. 52 for Maryville, about 53 for Tellico Plains. And our friends in Athens, while they're starting off colder, they have a good chance to get warmer in the afternoon to 53 degrees. Normal high is 49, so it's nice to see an above average day on the table. I think some of us are probably thrilled about that. By the way, it's 6:44. It's time for the bus stop forecast. And as the buses roll in and out of school today, and drop off the kiddos. Should be around freezing, or pretty close to it, at 6 a.m. It's 37 at 10, and then timelining this between 2 and 3:30 should be in the upper 40s, about 49 at 2, finishing the day between 3 and 4, around, say, 51 degrees. Sunrise and sunset time. Isn't this delightful? I think the sunglasses would be in order. Oh, yes, and I got some notes on this, too. So come back on camera. By the way, we're up to 1 minute and 44 seconds longer today than yesterday. I thought there was 24 hours in a day. There are 24 hours a day, but the length of day, we're getting longer. So if you are not a fan of the winter solstice season, the Christmas season, really we have long nights. We're kind of reversing that a bit. We have now over 10 hours of daylight. You got to love that. Sun's up at 7:39 this morning. That's a little less than an hour. But when it comes out, you're like, where are my sunglasses? Honey, where are my sunglasses? Wherever you left them, honey. That conversation goes on sometimes in the Aldridge household, too. Anyway, 5:59, that's when the sun goes down. By the way, the radar not showing much here. A couple of snowflakes across West Virginia. And curiously, there's some green areas in Dalton. What's going on down there, Aldrich? Looks like freezing fog, maybe. Maybe could that be what they're talking about down there? We'll have to examine that. It looks like there's some dense fog advisories around Huntsville, so it's out of the question that we could have some issues here. What is this? Yeah, I believe we have here freezing fog advisories. Temperatures are so cold that, I mean, it's foggy, but it's also freezing. So those are some concerns apparently down there. Meanwhile, not much to see about the deep south. This is where they were getting snow, it seems like a week or so ago, and there's still some snow across the Great Lakes. But here's the big picture. I just wanted to share this with you. We got more snow in parts, he says, in parts of New York State. Let me move my lightning strikes here. I'm kind of curious to see what we have here. A snow squall warning. Hey, snow fans, I have a place for you to go. Road trip until 7 o'clock. This morning, I believe we have a snow squall warning. Isn't that intense? Can you zoom in? Because I know snow lovers would love to know. What's a snow squall warning? If you have my app, you can go into the app and see exactly what that means. I mean, for upstate New York to issue a snow squall warning, you know it's serious business. That means it's probably coming down more than 1 or 2 inches an hour. It's pretty intense. And some of those areas extend just west of Albany. So, yeah, winter's not gone. It's just on vacation, right? It's not happening here. We've got a sunny day. So we have time to zoom in and take a look at some wacky weather that's going on upstate of New York. Meanwhile, other story, Knoxville rainfall 2.19. Yeah, if you're noticing, we've got a very dry January underway, and pretty much it's wrapping up on Friday. Last I checked, the calendar ends January this Friday. And we have some rain on Friday. My average expect maybe a ½ inch. If we get another ½ inch, we'd still be short 3 inches, right? I mean, we would still be under 3 inches for the total amount for rain melted snow, because I am factoring in the numbers the Weather Service is using from Morristown. They updated the snow total from the 10th of January to 4.9, was 5.1, but they did lower it. But even still, 2.19 puts you about 1.96 below average for the month. And essentially for the year, because January is the start of the new year. So you're running almost 2 inches below normal. And if we get some rain on Friday, which we will get some rain on Friday, it'll help. But we are still technically under a drought. Love to say hi to you, By the way, we have now had 21 days below average. We have 21 blue squares. Count them up, 21 out of a possible 27, if you don't count today, because today's not over. But yeah, we're up 78%. 78% of January has been below average. 78% of January has been colder than average, and I think a lot of folks feel it in their bones. They feel the essence of how cold this winter has been. Time for some more comments. I want to say good morning to Wanda Poe. She has, morning, David. Sure was a cold, wet day. How is the day going to be for Team Snow? Well, I gotta hand it to you, Wanda. If you're a Team Snow, I would get on a express train to upstate New York right now if you want a snow squall. That's where it is at the moment. Darcy says, good morning. It's definitely a cold, frosty morning in South Rome County. Burr, have a great Tuesday. Thank you, Darcy. Glad to have you here. Melissa Mumpower says, good morning. My car doors were frozen in Talbot. Wow, that's pretty intense. Now, she's on YouTube. She's got the little red icon at the bottom of her comment. So that's how I could tell she's on YouTube, but we are live streaming on both. Very happy to have Melissa here, Darcy, Wanda, Karen, Fred, Hallie, Steve, and others that might be watching at this particular time. I see Rodney is watching. I see Ruby is watching. I've got some other notes here. See, on my phone, I'm able to see who's watching. Not everybody's leaving a comment. But if you want to ask me a question, fire away. I'll do my best to answer anything that you might have. Some people like to know what's going to happen, X, Y, and Z. I'll do my best. I do see more rain coming in on Friday, and we're going to talk about that in detail here in a few moments. But we did hit 44 yesterday. We picked up 1/10 of an inch of rain yesterday, and that really came in the pre-dawn hours. Most of it, although some lingering showers were around the foothills Smokies, even in the afternoon on Monday, but that's beside the point now. Have you seen this before? John's weather forecasting stone. You know, I like to say that before there was Captain Accurate Premium, some of you had to rely on John's weather forecasting stone. You know, if it's white on top, it must be snowing. I'm sure that forecasting stone is working brilliantly in upstate New York right now. But if it's wet, the stone is wet, it's probably raining. I mean, some of you, it's tongue in cheek. It's a little bit of a joke here, but some people, that's how they rely on the weather. I guess you could say throw in Puxatawny Phil. That's how crude it gets. But if you want something extra, if you want something more informative, join us on Captain Accurate Premium. Just hit the subscribe button at the top of my Facebook post. I think you'd love it. And if it's only $4.99 a month, you can cancel at any time. Temperatures right now, I should mention, right now are 31 degrees. 31 degrees in Knoxville, 30 in Nashville, and 29 in Johnson City. Those are the current readings. The wind chill right now, the wind chill, 29, actually 23 in Johnson City. As I mentioned, it feels like 24 in Knoxville at this particular time. By the way, if you haven't picked up a bottle of the Winter Wonderland milk, I hope you'll do so. It is absolutely delicious. It is a frosty vanilla milk. From Weigels with a 100% chance of being delicious. And I love it because one of the things you can do is put it in your coffee, your Weigels coffee. It's delightfully delicious. It is around for just a limited time. We hear that often from Weigels because they're always in the works for something new and exciting that'll come down the pike. So if this is one of your favorites, you might want to pick up or grab several bottles before they disappear. It's just better when it's fresh. Farm to store in 24. It's just better when it's with Tennessee cows. You gotta love the Weigels. And by the way, get it before it's gone. I mean, that's coming straight from Weigels. You know it's probably not going to last too much longer before it disappears from the shelves. Headlines, sunshiny skies today. We kind of covered that. You'll want the sunglasses for good reason. It's going to be mostly clear tonight, but then a milder day tomorrow. I have us at 51 today. I have us at 57 tomorrow. 57 degrees tomorrow. Some people are like, hey, that's spring. I mean, given the fact the normal high is 49, yeah, I think we'd take a 57-degree day. Tomorrow will be probably super delightful for those who are on Team Spring, and I know there's quite a few. What about Thursday? Late in the afternoon. Some spots of rain may form, but it's only setting up the stage for what could be a very soggy Friday morning. And then on Friday afternoon, some wraparound showers. It's kind of a gray, mostly gray day on Friday. Most of the heavier rains, though, are going to be confined to the morning based on what I'm seeing in this morning's data. So we'll keep an eye on Friday. Friday is the soggy day, especially in the morning. Temperatures right now are 10 degrees warmer in Raleigh. They're at 41, 31 here, 36 in Huntington. If you go up to Rochester, New York, they're at 22 and 20 in Caribou. Factor in some winds, it feels like it's 5. That's a lonely 5 in Caribou and 6 in Rochester. Single-digit wind chills where you see that purple or magenta color. By the way, are we going to see winter come back? Of course we are. This is what's going to really fool the groundhog. I think the groundhog, Puxatawny Phil in Puxatawny, Pennsylvania, he may be sucker punched into thinking that spring's here. Hey, because it's warming up. We got 57 tomorrow. They're going to see a little bit of a milder change too, because all that Arctic air in purple moves toward Montreal and moves north of Maine over time. But eventually we'll warm ourselves up. This is the end of the January time frame. Look at all those warm colors. I mean, you look at the warm color, that's the green. You would say it's very balmy. I mean, you can't get snow. You can get rain when it's that warm, but you're not going to get snow unless it changes back around. Guess what? If you've ever done square dancing, it's do-si-do. Here it comes back around as we head into February. I can see it in Calgary. I can see it in Minneapolis. Yes, eventually it'll come back around, and I hope you'll be ready. But very warm, it looks like, for the Groundhog Day. That's the second. And certainly when Puxatawny Phil emerges out of his burrow, he might be saying, well, spring's here, but he doesn't see what's in Minneapolis. He doesn't see what's in Calgary. He doesn't see what's in Billings, Montana, because that's going to come back around. As my premium members know all too well, what I expect in the month of February. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun and interesting, to say the least. By the way, it's 6:55. Here's my planner. 51, I expect between 3 and 4 p.m. today. So if you've got plans, you're headed to the grocery store, you're headed to the pharmacy, you're just doing some errands, you're heading to the bank, whatever you plan on doing, and you like temperatures in the 40s, well, you might want to wait till the afternoon, because this morning it's kind of cold, but the sunshine will be basically wall-to-wall sunshine with winds 5 to 15, gusting to around 25 degrees. If you got a comment, would love to say hi to you. Melissa Mumpower's back on here, so is Pauline. Pauline says, my porch looks wet. Not shiny wet, but it was slippery and frozen this morning. It sounds like you may have a little black ice, a little slippery spot. Make sure you take care of yourself there, Pauline. Thank you for that note. Judy says good morning. Love seeing her photograph there. And Melissa Mumpower says, when's the temperature is going to be to the bucket again, Dave? I'm guessing the 14th. Have a blessed day. Yeah, I think by the time we get into February, we're going to see a big change again. That's no surprise. I mean, I call it like I see it. Balls and strikes like an umpire. I see the fact that winter is not done, although some might think it's done. There'll be some spiking of the football, right? I mean, we're setting up now for the Super Bowl. My Eagles are in the Super Bowl. And, oh, yes, we're taking on the Chiefs, which probably aren't all that loved. Who wants to see a team win three times in a row? Not me. But anyway, I digress. We're spiking the football if we're on Team Spring, because you might think it's a head fake that we're going to have nothing but spring weather. But eventually, February hopefully won't surprise you. Precipitation chances, I mentioned a late chance on Thursday afternoon, 20% chance. But Friday, I left it as periods of rain. It'll be particularly heavy in the morning with more wraparound showers Friday afternoon. That's my expectation. But the good news is I've kept the weekend. Looks like the weekend's going to be completely dry. So I think you'll have reasons to get out this weekend after that rain moves away. Storm Prediction Center, believe it or not, we're lighting up the skies. Maybe not today, because there's a few thunderstorms potentially in Arizona. But if you look at this map, it will only continue to grow with severe weather going into tomorrow and into Thursday. So we've got nothing to see today, sunny skies. But all of a sudden, what's that? I see a dark green area. That is the marginal risk, level 1. For Dallas, Waco, and Abilene, for example, these areas tomorrow might have some isolated severe storms. And it's only going to grow. That storm system is going to bring us rain on Friday. What's interesting to see is by the time we hit Thursday, if you have family in central Louisiana or northern, or even around the Houston area, there's going to be some severe weather here. So basically from Houston to Monroe, Louisiana, there will be some scattered severe storms on Thursday that could include hail and certainly damaging wind in January. I know it's amazing, but places in parts of Louisiana, Texas will need to watch that closely. Dallas is also included, Waco, Austin, for some isolated, as is Baton Rouge, where they could get some isolated severe storms in dark green. And then the general thunderstorms do make it to Jamestown. So when we've got spotty rain in Knoxville, Jamestown and Fairfield, Glade, and Crossville might get a rumble of thunder as that warm front begins to lift toward the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Let me show you what this looks like. Futurecast looks like this. It's now 6:58. My goal is to be done at the top of the hour. You don't see much. Don't see much on this map at all, at least short term, but there's a front that's trying to move away tomorrow. We will see temperatures tomorrow around 57, and then the interesting weather comes in late Thursday, because you can see the effects of a front that's bringing in some showers in Nashville, Jamestown, and this may include a rumble of thunder in Fentress County. That's what's being suggested here. A rumble of thunder possible around Fentress County by sometime Thursday. It's all associated with this warm front, but then we've got to wait for the cold front to come by, and that'll swing in here, especially Friday morning, like so. So Friday morning, your wipers will be working overtime, I imagine, at times, depending on when you get out the door. But this is representative of 7 a.m. Friday, but once it moves away, there will be some wraparound showers that I don't think really are depicted all too well on this image, but they'll be there all the same. So for today, it's now 6:59. 51 degrees, yay. Yesterday was only 44, and that came around midnight. We've spent most of the afternoon at 43, but I digress. Sunny skies, pleasant. How about those winds, 5 to 15, and they'll gust 25 miles an hour today. But tonight, the winds don't necessarily drop off. I'll explore that in a moment. 48 for a high in Morristown, Talbot. 50 for Wartburg, Sunbright, Oneida. 52 La Follette. 51 for Maynardville. 51 for Seymour, Sevierville, Pigeon Forge. And 52 for Alcoa and Maryville. If you're on the road today, looks like it's nice and balmy in Memphis, 58. 56 for Atlanta, and they'll be in the 60s in parts of South Carolina. How about that? Even Augusta, Georgia at 62 today, while there'll be about 47 in Lexington, Kentucky. By the way, here's your forecast for tonight, 34 the low. I think the breeze will persist on the hilltops. That means if you live on a ridge, you live on a hill, when are these winds when are they going to die down? They may not. It may still be gusting 20, 25 on those hilltops. Down here in the valley, probably 5 to 10 plus, but mostly clear, and it's chilly, so our temperatures won't tumble perhaps as low as they've been in the days or weeks past. So breezy tonight on hilltops, especially tonight. We're down to 33 for Morristown, Newport 34, 34 for La Follette. I'm expecting a low of Athens 29 and 29 in Middlesboro. Here's your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville and East Tennessee. I did mention top of the hour, here's 7 o'clock. We've got 57 tomorrow, 56 on Thursday. Best chance of rain will come in Friday morning with the approaching cold front. And really, even though our temperatures drop a wee bit on Saturday, on Groundhog Day, we're back in the 60s. Oh, you mean like these 60s? Yeah, these 60s. You're going to be in the like 63, 64 early next week. And some of you will be tempted to think that winter is gone and all is good with the world. It will be temporarily. But please make note, winter is not gone. It's just on a little bit of a vacation. You tell the folks in upstate New York that winter's gone, and they will laugh at you because they're under a snow squall warning at this particular time. By the way, winter may seem like it will not disappear, but the Winter Wonderland may if you don't grab a bottle today. Make sure you pick up Weigel's Winter Wonderland milk. It is a frosty vanilla milk with a 100% chance of being delicious. I love it, and it's around for just a limited time. We mentioned that before as well. So make sure you pick it up. By the way, you can also pick up a hot cup of coffee, put a little bit of the Winter Wonderland milk in there. Grab some regular milk or chocolate milk as well. Well, my name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate. You know that. We'll see you here next time. Take care.